One of the things that I can't emphasize enough is the use of a good sturdy vise. All the vices we sell at ARTECH will do the job and hold the ski securely. We recommend the 3-point vices. That is one where you have support at the shovel and at the tail, and that you can easily take the ski out and hold it vertically for any side edge work or sidewall planing. The other factor is that these are also adjustable up and down so that you get a more secure grip. The longer the center vise is in terms of the grip, the more secure the ski is going to be held. After base prepping the bases with wax, I simply make sure to go over the base one last time with a fiber lane. After brushing, clean, make sure that I have my tuning glove on for safety. Take the true bar, check for high spots, both on the edge or the base, up and down in 2-inch increments. Should you end up with case-hardened spots from hitting rocks, take a diamond stone such as a Moonflex 400 grit, go to the spot that's case-hardened and rub it back and forth. Take your hard chrome file with the smooth sidewalls, okay, and you're going to start at the shovel of the ski and go towards the tail of the ski. Up here, we're going to move the file perpendicular, and here through the mid portion of the ski, and then again down here at right angles. It's important to have flat file up here at right angles. Keep your thumbs over the file, elbows in. In keeping the elbows in, you're less apt to put pressure on the outside of the file and bow the file, adding increased base bevel angles. So again, good pressure, short strokes, change the angle of the file, listen to the sound. If you're not gripping anything, then that's a good thing. It means your ski bases are in great shape. Once you've finished doing that, then we're ready to do some base beveling. Now we're going to be using an ARTECH base beveler. Here we have the 0.5 degree. Most people on the race circuit today are using a 0.5. The smaller the base bevel, the quicker you can go edge to edge. The greater the base bevel, the slower it'll be from edge to edge. Usually for speed events, you'll use at least a 1 degree to up to a 2 degree base bevel. Good method for checking your base beveling technique and your work is to take a Sharpie and run the Sharpie along your base edge. This will give you a reference point as you're working on your base edge. And simply run that all the way down and again on the other edge as well. That way, when you're using your guide and you're doing your filing, you can see what kind of work and what kind of material you're removing. You do not need to remove a lot of your base material, base edge material. You should probably make no more than 3 or 4 passes with a base bevel guide. Place this guide on the shovel, clean your file. Again, use a file that has smooth sidewall, such as the ARTECH one. Start here, run the file with pressure by the fingers over the base of the ski and simply guide the file down through. By this time, I'm using my thumb to keep the pressure on the file over the base. During the course of the season, as you sharpen the edges, the edge will be worn down to the sidewall, and it's imperative that you remove the sidewall material so that you can maintain the proper edge angles. Otherwise, you'll end up with a 3-degree guide trying to make a 3-degree side edge angle, and you'll only be getting perhaps a 1, possibly a 2. So for consistency's sake, you'll need to sidewall plane your skis on a regular basis. I would say probably about every 3 to 4 weeks. For sidewall planing, some of the tools that we'll be using today will be a 3-point vise, a Swix, multi-directional sidewall planer. The other item that we'll be using is some base tape to protect the bases while we're running the tools along the base edge to protect the structure of the ski. We'll also be using a 7-degree fixed guide for shaping the sidewall, a Panzer file, a spring clamp, and you can use 1 or 2 depending on the grip, and a file card to clean that periodically. The first step is to take some base tape, run it along the base of the ski, and this is to protect the base from the tools and any material that comes off the side of the ski. Insert it into the 3-point vise. We'll start by using the 7-degree fixed angled sidewall planer from ARTECH. We've placed that Panzer file on there, adjusting it to the appropriate length so that we're going to be removing the material along the sidewall. Now this is going to take off the sidewall enamel in a smooth fashion. One of the reasons why I like this particular tool is that you always get a smooth result. And when you're making turns on the race course or in the practice course, the side wall of the ski is consistently in the snow. So it's important that the sidewall is perfectly smooth so that there is no excess drag occurring. So let's, again, this leaves the sidewall nice and smooth. It'll take off aluminum. And there's very little chance of creating chatter marks. And again, you can see the material that we're removing. Clean your Panzer file, flip it over if you need to, should it become dull. Place it again. There. Long, smooth strokes. You can take your Farrell out and wipe down the sidewall. You can check it with your fingers and your thumbs. It should be perfectly smooth the whole way down. This is my favorite tool for sidewall planing. After doing one sidewall, we take the tape, lift it up, replace it on the other side of the base of the ski. And again, this is for protection of the base structure. Flip the ski over. And we'll use the Swix Professional Sidewall Planer. This has a square blade with 4 cutting surfaces. It also has a round carbide blade. Each of these very good at removing the sidewall. The adjustment knob will help you move the blade in and out from the edge so that you can get as close to the edge as possible to remove the material so as not to affect the edge angle as your side edge beveling. Again, you would start up here using the square blade. And the round blade. This tool is very easily used and it must be sharp so to avoid chatters. After sidewall planing, we're now ready to shape the side edge. You may have the ski base facing you or facing away from you. That is purely an individual type of thing. Some people feel they have more control with the tools on the outside, and some feel that they have more control on the closer to them. We'll now take a Sharpie felt tip pen and run it along the side edge, and this will give us a reference point from which to sharpen and shape the side edges. Next, we'll take our 3-degree fixed guide and a Panzer file to shape the edge. Clamp it on and start up here. You'll want to have your forearm parallel with the base of the ski. Okay, we're going to start at the shovel and work our way towards the tail using short strokes. As we do this, you'll gradually see the Sharpie markings on the side edge gradually disappear. Periodically clean your file and wipe down the base of the ski and the sidewall to clear all the debris off of it. Once we've achieved the proper shape of the edge, we're now going to fine tune it to get it smoothed out. Always check your guides to make sure that the edges are perfectly smooth, not jagged, that there are no nicks in your guide. Otherwise, you could end up putting some pretty serious gouges in the base of your ski. We're using an 8-inch file. Listen to the sound. We'll now make our final passes with the file and longer passes. And again, listen to the sound. Next, we'll go to a 100 grit diamond stone. Before we use that, we'll put some polishing solution on it. Work that in so that it'll help the stone last longer and cut better. And we are now softening the edge, especially in the case hardened spots. Usually case hardened areas occur at the shovel and at the tail of the ski. Next, we'll go to a 400 grit diamond, and this will smooth out some of the striations in the edge. Most racers use a 3-degree side edge, and most World Cup racers actually have their skis sharpened up the shovel of the ski and then slightly detuned before stepping into the starting gate. Finally, we'll now go over with a ceramic stone and we'll polish the edge. You use these dry. Do not use the ceramic stones wet. Ceramic stones come in coarse, which is sort of brown, or fine white. Either one works quite well. Should you wish to check your edge angles, take your file guide and your true bar, hold it up to the edge with your true bar with a backlight. Use your backlight here and work your way down, and there should be no light passing underneath your edge, the tip of your edge, and the true bar.